my favorite part of the lake.
There's been a phrase bouncing around in my head lately, and that is, if a service is free, you're not the customer, you're the product. When I first started my art business, I was a stay-at-home mom who was chronically overwhelmed and desperately trying to claw back any sense of autonomy that I could. So I threw away my smartphone and dedicated my free time to making art and getting better at my artistic practice. After about a year of creating and posting, I really found my voice, and now I feel like it's time. 3 years later, I can talk about truly how that changed my life. I got over the fear of being perceived online because it really just highlighted how fake it was. I stopped being afraid of being perceived in real life, so it doesn't matter. Posting very quickly became another thing that I needed to do. But how do you stop when every sale depends on you promoting yourself? You're probably in my shoes. And if you're not, I want you to imagine you're an artist, a painter, a sculptor, and are starting to maybe see a little bit of growth. And then your FYP pops up with these growth content creators. They bug me to no end. It's a classic MLM course structure that is super popular online right now. But when those growth creators come up on your For You page, what do they say? Use 5 to 7 seconds with B-roll and this trending sound and some text and you'll go viral. No, you won't. No, you won't. It's a lie. It's largely a lie, unless you have something really interesting to say. But something they are right about is that you need to be posting a lot. 2 to 3 times a day, a lot. And when they say, 5 to 7 seconds of B-roll, you think, that doesn't sound too bad. And then it takes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to edit? 2 to 3 times, the mental load of that is something that you cannot underestimate. And what it actually does is keeps you scrolling. A new trend to copy, the hot sound to use right now. My realization, the answer that most growth content creators are keeping behind a paywall is stupid simple, but it comes at a cost. You will feel different. You will be different. And you won't ever see the internet the same again. Because the tips these people are giving, they're not following them. They're not doing any of that. They're incentivized to keep you in the app. So of course, they would tell you, hey, make content right now. Hey, look for something new right now. New and hot and cool. The first step to breaking yourself out of this cycle is to decide why you're here. Why are you on social media? Why did you pick that platform? Is it to market a business? Is it to teach a skill? 2 very different things. Are you wanting to create sponsored content like UGC kind of thing? That's cool too. A dancing monkey gig isn't all that bad if you're cool with posting 2 and 3 times a day. If you can keep up with that, good for you. Then maybe this video isn't for you. Until you want to take a vacation. Until you get sick. When you try and reap the benefits of the following that you've built, they will turn on you. Unless you set this boundary right now to protect your sanity and your brand. Almost none of the sponsored content that you see, pretty much ever, is made with the plus sign. It's just not how it works. There's actually a whole separate app called TikTok Studio that you can, scroll and make posts and edit and all of that, but it gives you the option to schedule out your content. If you're not scheduling your content, you don't have a marketing strategy. Especially if you're trying to be a content creator, that is essential. Unless you're scheduling out your content, you're just a viewer. You are eyeballs in front of advertisers. You are just a really valuable asset to TikTok instead of your business. A warning, when you start scheduling out your content, weird stuff happens. When you quit making a video every 2 to 3 hours just so that people don't forget that you exist, you remember to just exist. People will not forget you exist. You are forgetting to exist. I started scheduling my content. My earning potential absolutely skyrocketed because I'm attracting customers while I paint, while I work on my website, while I sleep. Do not mishear me. This is not a passive income thing. It's still hard work. Making a whole bunch of content and then scheduling it out for later, you stop performing. It lifts the pressure to have to show up every day to social media because it's already done. Even if that stuff isn't live yet, you've already done the performing. So now you can just interact and have fun if you want to. It makes it so much less serious. There are, however, some unexpected consequences. I am now one of these entities that's vying for your attention and your money from a distance. I'm a bot. I'll admit it, I am a bot. But freeing yourself from the insidiously addictive slot machine system that is social media requires automation. And it's not a small contributor to the dead internet theory. But I don't think that's entirely a bad thing. Breaking away from the internet personally but not professionally is actively contributing to the dead internet theory. But I don't think that's entirely a bad thing. Obviously, I'm a person. I guess not so obviously anymore because it's getting harder and harder to tell, but I promise I am. Frankly, the internet is dead already. More than 50% of all the written media that you experience is AI. Even before that, we were inundated with fake news and false statistics and people using real statistics and skewing them. The internet hasn't been the bastion of knowledge that we hoped it would be for a long time. Nowadays, the internet, especially social media feeds, is used mostly as a massive pipeline, direct depositing whatever BS other people want you to believe right into your brain. Nowadays, it's mostly used as a massive pipeline, direct depositing whatever BS other people want you to believe right into your brain. And then you are supposed to parse through everything and know what's true and what's false and accommodate and hold empathy for everyone in every situation. But it's an impossible task. It's a trap and a standard no one is really actually holding you to except for faceless strangers on the internet who, again, are probably bots. Look, I'm here. You're here. It's not all dead yet, but in order to make it fun again, we have to leave. Don't allow corporations access to you 24/7. When you cut them off at the tip and live your own life, and then come back and post that, the internet comes to life again. Or maybe it won't. Hopefully. And then we'll find an entirely new forum to share those things with. My most practical favorite would be pagers or going back to landline. The carrier pigeon. The carrier pigeon. Carrier pigeon? I'll be real. I got rid of my smartphone, but the plan was always to use social media marketing. It's free! But I have to keep really strict boundaries with it, or else it will totally run away from me and I will waste a day at a time to do research. It stays on my iPad, which stays at home, and I treat more like a laptop than a mobile device. Is it more inconvenient? Yeah. But the freedom that it grants me is immeasurable. So instead of looking for ideas, post yours. Instead of looking for ideas, record yours. Nobody else is gonna have your ideas, and looking for them keeps you from creating and changing anything about your life. You don't even have to do a dedicated filming session. Just go through the last month of your camera roll, edit those things, and then schedule them out. It's not going to be perfect, but it is the numbers that matter. Quantity is the fastest way to get better at a skill and acquire new skills. You need to draw 100 faces before you even start understanding what it is you're looking at. I drew 100 faces before I ever even conceptualized what I was looking at. If you just post once a day on weekdays for the next month, you will see growth. Everybody says that. I'm telling you, you don't have to form a new habit. Just make the videos. Just post the videos. Just post the pictures. Edit them and schedule them. It's that easy. Why am I telling you this? Why give other people my business strategy just to make them more competitive? I don't really care. I don't schedule out my content to make more money. I schedule out my content because it's a boundary that I have. A boundary that I think is healthy and normal and should be more widespread. And I want you to be healthy. I want you to have an amazing life. And I don't want so much of that life to be wasted scrolling. Our moms were right. It is the damn phone. You do have the time to reach your goals. The idea that you don't is a lie, but it requires sacrifice and prioritization. You look at your weekly screen time and you put those hours into working out or writing or painting or anything, really. What could you do? I started a business from my home while taking care of now 3 children. And the life that I was living before, the phone addicted life I was living before, was not conducive with that. I took control back of my artistic practice and my time. Now I'm free. I'm a full-time artist. My husband is out there taking care of the children right now. How cool is that? If you're an artist trying to show people what you make, I hope that it's encouraging that you don't have to be a content creator. Content creation does not have to be your 9 to 5 and creating art on the side. Yes, you should probably be making content, and a lot of it, but it doesn't have to be your 9 to 5 with art and with art on the side. That it should really be the reverse. I am an artist. I want to make art for as much of the rest of my life as possible. But in order to do that, I need patrons, and the patrons need to see my work. Thank you so much for watching. Now that my video is done, you can turn your phone off. You don't need it anymore. There's nothing else to watch on the internet that's worthwhile. There's nothing else worthwhile to watch on the internet. This is it. You've reached the end. Congratulations. Reward yourself with a walk. Go outside. Drink some water. Paint a little bit. When was the last time you had an omega-3 rich food? I'm done being cooped up in this room. I would also like to go outside. I don't want to work anymore.